Yeah. Welcome to So Mean.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I accidentally went live on my other channel. That was so weird. I forgot to change. There's a stream key. Like, you can easily forget to do that, though. It's such a tiny little... It sucks having to do that, actually. But, I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it?
That was pretty funny, though.
Yeah, there was like 20 people watching over there. They're like, wait, what's going on? What's going on? But thank you all for the super chats. We were just talking about that. We weren't even live. So we had Georgina Stoliker, Katja T, Woman of Steel, and Brandy Bradford.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, so I figured we should do the Delphi, go over the Delphi case on this channel, because I think a lot of people that watch your channel actually probably aren't really as familiar with the Delphi case as other people. What do you think?
I think you're right, because I'm not very familiar with it at all. I know that, Gray is the man when it comes to the Delphi case. So I never even touched it. I'm like, I would bring no justice to this case, so I'm just not going to touch it.
Well, I think you would do pretty good, but I think there would have been too many rabbit holes for you. That's what I think.
Yeah, you know me. Once I get stuck in the rabbit hole, it's over.
But the thing is the way it's turned out. Maybe some of those rabbit holes would have worked. That's the thing. It's made this whole full circle back to a realm which didn't seem like it was even going to be part of a long time ago. But maybe
I saw the newest stuff coming out about the internet guy and all of this other stuff. So it's good that we're going over it here so that I can better understand it.
Yeah, maybe after the show, I'll have to give you a call, because there's this little thing that I found out. It's pretty crazy.
Oh.
Yeah. So, anyways, I guess we should just get started.
Let's do this.
Okay, I'm just going to do it the way I normally do it. I just sort of freewheel it because I have it memorized, basically.
Okay.
All right, let me go to see if does this one work still? Yep, looks like you're in the right space.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So we're all learning together here, guys. Well, some of you already know it, but not like Gray, I'm sure.
All right, so there's actually a picture of them when they were, I'll just put them on the screen. So it's Abigail Williams and Liberty German. So there's a picture that was it seems like it was made right before they were murdered. And let me get that one. There's this one where they're sort of sitting by I just thought of it just now, because that one looks like they're pretty young in that one that you got up there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's it. It didn't just pop up, so here, I'll just show you this picture right here. This is them, Libby and Abigail Williams right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so let's just go back. This is, let's see, February 13th, 2017. There happened to be a school day off because there wasn't enough, I guess, snow days or something like that, but there was a makeup day where they got to have a day off of school. They didn't have enough days off of school, I guess. But so there was a day off of school, so maybe somebody out there was aware of that, we don't know. But they were over here at Becky, Patty, and Mike Patty's house, Mike, Patty, and Becky are the grandparents of Libby and Kelsey. But Becky, Patty, and Mike are the guardians. They're actually the legal guardians and basically the parents of Libby and Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because, Derek, the father, and the mother, they were having problems with drugs and so forth, and legal issues, and so Becky and Mike had legal custody and raised them. So they were staying here. Libby was here, and Abby. They were hanging out together. They were doing some work for Becky around the house, and then at about let's just say around noon, they said, "Hey, let's go to the bridge." the Monon High Bridge. And so Becky told them, well, you can go if you have a ride there and a ride back. And everybody used to go to the bridge. It's not really as isolated as everybody, or remote. It's not remote. It might be a little bit isolated, but it's not remote or anything like that. But people would go there all the time, kids, anybody. So they got a ride there with Kelsey, the sister, and I think she was a couple years older than Libby. And so probably at around probably at 1:25, they took off, and Kelsey was going to give him a ride there. And then Derek, the father, who had driven, so Derek had driven all the way down here. So from this house, he drove all the way down this route, clear all the way down to Frankfurt to take photographs for Becky's appraisal business. So that's where he went. And he was going to be back in an hour and a half to 2 hours, and he was going to pick them back up at the bridge. Apparently, that a call was made to him. Libby said, "Oh yeah, I got a ride home," but she hadn't even called him yet. And then she called him about when she got to the bridge, and then he was going to come back and pick them up. All right, so about, let's see, like I said, 1:25. This is the route they drove. I actually had Becky drive the route, and I have it on film. So it's like this, all the way down. And then you drive by the cemetery right here. And then there's this parking area right here. And then the girls are dropped off right here. And they walk this direction on this path. And I can actually show you. So let's just pretend you're right here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so what I'll do right here is I'll go over to this program. And let me go to further down. I think it's right here. So right here is what it looked like. Let me scale this down. I think it's too big on there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's right there. So basically, if you were looking at it from that angle, you see that? So right there, then it's going to take a left, and you're going to see exactly what it looked like that day. So here we go. So I have this music playing, because this is a video that I made a long time ago. But we can just, I can fast forward it through.
No, I'd like to see it. I want to see it.
I have this computerized voice that talks too, so don't mind the computerized voice, everybody. This is before I use my own. It feels weird that I used to do that. I don't think so, Woe-Free. I think you're wrong. So this is almost exactly what it looked like, because this was filmed in March, and February 13th was the day they went missing, and the leaves are still off the trees and everything. So this is and it was a sunny day. Looked just like this right here.
Wow.
On February 13th, it was about 42 degrees, but it got up to 60 later in the week, which is unbelievable for Indiana. And a lot of people conflate the temperature. They go, wow, it was really warm on February 13th, but it was really 43 degrees, and it was very sunny. So people probably felt like it was warm. You know how kids are when the sun comes out,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's, 50, 40, whatever, they'll take their jackets off and run around.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
This is pretty creepy to think this is exactly how they walked.
Yeah, they were just walking down this, and a lot of people think that the killer was around in this area and had already talked to them. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll stop it once it gets to the start of the bridge, and then we'll go back and look at the map portion again, and you'll see everything. So it goes forward here, and then it turns to the left, and then there's another straightaway that goes to the bridge. And it's not very far either. It's only like, we can go measure it, but it's not far at all.
And how old were the two girls when this happened?
They were 13 and 14. I think Libby was 14 and Abby was 13. So they just came out here and they were taking photographs. Apparently there's a whole bunch more photographs they had taken. We haven't seen any of those. Like just kind of lollygagging on the trail, taking pictures.
Yeah. It's kind of creepy because we have something similar here. And my daughter and her friends go there to take pictures and
Oh yeah?
all of that. Yeah. It looks a lot like these.
Wow. It's not a long walk. It only takes like 5 or 6 minutes to walk there. It's weird. The voice part's gone. I don't know what happened to it. I'm glad though. It's just the music. It's awesome. He used to have this whole thing. I'm not sure how that's happening because it was part of the video. Maybe I reposted it. I don't know.
It's weird. I keep thinking somebody's gonna like pop out or something.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of people that said they could see a killer in different shots all the time, but it just, when there was 2 photographs taken on the bridge, so everybody tries to find the killer in the photo. So every tree, every shadow is a person,
Yeah, that kind of happened in all these cases, right?
Yeah.
We start finding things in the shadows and in the trees and under bushes.
So
and
like right
in
now.
kitchens.
See that at the end
Yeah.
there? That there. Ooh, it's a person. No, it's actually a metal barrier. That's what everybody was calling a person for a long time until we actually said, no, you guys, look, it's a metal barrier. So they're almost getting to the bridge here.
Yeah, I can see why people would think that that was a person.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it in a... I could see originally thinking that, but even when they were presented...
The video is approaching the red gates that many claim are actually people in the photo with Abby in it.
There you go.
As you can see, it's merely a gate with a tree.
So I was making fun of those people right there.
Well, you didn't sound like you were making fun of them. You were just telling them. Now I can see the gate clearly.
Yeah,
now you can see it.
They were only saying that in the photograph. You'll see it later because didn't exist in the public. The video that I'm showing here. I mean, it wasn't. That's not what. It was this photograph of Abby on the bridge, filming back towards her, a photograph, and they were saying that this tree and the barricade were people. But anyways, this is exactly what it looks like. This is when all the memorials are set up, though. So March.
A month later. Yeah.
Yeah, but look at that creepy bridge. Look at this thing.
Oof.
Yeah, it's like
No,
70.
ma'am.
It's like 70 feet up in the air too.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Okay. So.
I hate bridges. I hate them with a passion. I'm terrified of them, and just looking at that makes me ill.
Yeah. So, so they were dropped off at 137 right here. Okay. And then they walked this direction. So we just saw that. That's that turn, and then the second straightaway, and then the barricades are right here. And Google Earth sucks at bridges, so the bridge doesn't really collapse and run along the ground like that.
Right.
So right now they're standing. The camera is standing right here. Okay. So what happens is that they start going across the bridge, and then there's this photograph taken of the entire length of the bridge right in this position right here, right where I've got that L, and it's a full shot towards the other end of the bridge. Then they walk forward, and Libby's still in front, because in this shot you don't see Abby. That means Abby's behind because it's filming that way. Then in this shot, Libby's on platform 3 and takes a photograph back this way, and that's the one that people think they see a person, but it was actually the barricade. Okay, and we'll show those here in a second. So that's where we're at right now, and here we go. It's just spooky on here.
Oh my goodness.
And there's actually some railroad ties that are missing, and there's large gaps.
Platform 1 is 47 feet from the start of the northwest end of the bridge.
Oh my. Oh Lord, look.
Yeah, plus it doesn't have stabilization on the video, so it's making you feel a little bit worse. But
I mean, there's nothing on either side. You could fall right off.
yeah, no, if I was gonna do it, I'd walk right in the middle and just look straight down the whole time. Yeah,
I think I'd crawl, maybe.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so this actually shows you the two photographs.
Platform 2 is 187 feet from the northwest end of the bridge.
So this is platform 2. Now, just in a moment here,
Shot 1.
there's a first
Platform
photograph.
2
that
to
was-
Vine is 42 feet 9 inches, approximately 36 feet to Libby's camera location, and approximately 236 feet from the northwest end of the bridge.
There's a little vine on the ground that I found, and I told my friend to look for that vine. See it right here? A little vine on the ground, and that's where that photograph is, right there. There's that one that has an angle, and then the damaged stuff here. And then watch, here's the photograph coming in. Boom. That's the photograph.
Oh wow.
That's the one that she took all across the bridge. Different kind of camera, so it was a little more
Approximately 97
wide-angled.
feet further from the Vine is Platform 3, 333 feet from the northwest end of the bridge.
I like this little voice person.
Yeah, it's got a little British. Sounds very
Shot 2.
professional.
Libby positions herself on Platform 3 and takes a picture of Abby.
So here it is.
Abby is 13 feet 4 inches from the edge of the platform. The image is taken at 2:07 p.m. on February
I could've used a
13th,
better one.
2017.
But so you can see the same damage on there.
Now, when I was looking into stuff for this, I saw
Abby
that
and Libby
photo, but I didn't know who
continues
that
out-
was.
Yeah, see, that's what people thought.
No
right,
idea.
right back there, they thought that was a person. But after you show it for a while, and you show, no, that's a barricade with a tree. It's the people that continue to say it even after you show them that it's a barricade and a tree. That they get kind of annoying. And then even right there, people claim that was a person, but that's actually a branch also.
Southeast.
But I'm talking about using the actual photograph. So if you go back to this one right here, where is it? Right. Let me see if I can.
Is from the edge of the platform. The image is taken at 2:07 p.m. on February 13th.
Yeah. So back there, you can kind of see the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's weird. This frame isn't the one I should have used. It should have been the one that I just was using a second ago, where it actually shows exactly like this one. So I don't know how that happened, but it was me who edited it. So.
2017.
So it's kind of creepy, though, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Abby and Libby continue southeast.
so then they turn around and they keep going across the bridge. So it got confusing for people, like which way is which and all this kind of stuff. But then now they're just continuing on across. See how there was that big gap right there?
Lord.
Yeah. Hey, sassafras.
Platform 4 is approximately 474 feet from the northwest end of the bridge and 382 feet from the southeast end.
Oh, this is my crime scene flow. Okay, yes, this is.
Forked tree. These trees are what make
See,
up.
just kind of remember this thing right here. See these branches and everything? All these are combined in the background of the video. That the images that were released early on of the suspect on the bridge, you see this, what looked like a forked tree behind him. And that's really kind of was the revolutionary part of the case, is once that was determined, oh wow, that's over on this side of the bridge. That's when everything changed and things could be figured out. And these are actually a whole bunch of trees that made up what looked like a forked tree behind it. And it's amazing how far away these are behind him when you look at the photograph of him.
The forked tree in the background of the suspect image, as you will see later. The forked tree is approximately 567 feet from the northwest end of the bridge and 289 feet from the southeast end. Platform 5 is the platform behind the suspect in the video still. It's also approximately 625 feet from the northwest end of the bridge and 225 feet from the southeast end.
So now we're getting into where things went down.
When viewing the suspect image, there is an unusual bright spot on the side rail to the right of and behind the suspect's right calf. This will be shown later. Platform 6 is 70 feet from the end of the southeast end of the bridge, while the suspect is approximately 73 feet.
It's actually about 60. This was before we really dialed that in. So they put crime scene tape up here because everything after
Abby and
that,
Libby were off at the southeast end of the bridge when Libby shot video of the suspect. The suspect is heading towards them in the video.
See that? So you can see that little white spot right there? It's really bright.
Yes.
That's that damage stuff that I just pointed out. You can only see that looks like that if you're down low too. And actually, the camera should be about 2 feet to the left of this rail right here.
Stills.
So it's going to get close to it. But this is where Libby's camera was almost, maybe 2 feet more to the left though. But watch. So now it's almost in the right spot. Look at this. Pink.
As you can see, the light area, as discussed earlier, is on side rail in both images. Platform 5 and the forked tree are behind the. Note that the stripes of the railroad ties on the underlying video
Isn't that crazy how perfect that lines up like that? Can you see that?
Yeah.
match the suspect image as well.
I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of small.
No, I can see it, yeah.
The suspect likely forced Libby and Abby down the hill at the southeast end of the bridge.
See right there even, you know. And then there's a lady named Julie Melvin who walked down there to show what it looked like down below. So after you go across the bridge, you go down the hill. And so you can even see where people maybe have been down there. A lot of people don't cross that bridge, but they started to do it after.
To where the bridge ends.
And so this is when it's all the way down to the bottom.
Across
spot.
here. Across here to the creek. That's my husband's head. And
See, in a minute here, she references me. She says, oh, that guy on YouTube. Because I was talking about there's this bent tree that goes over the river, and that's how you could see it on Google Earth, too.
wow, I keep hearing that four-wheeler.
See, I always thought this was the intended area right there. But
You see across there. That crime tape. Do you see the tape? See the yellow tape? Oh, So you can see on to all the way here to the actual creek. I just want to give people to show you. Again, like the guy had in the video. See that limb? That's
The guy.
an outstanding limb. And just to give you an idea, here is how shallow you can see the rocks.
Yeah.
So you can cross there. You can go over here and cross. So you're already in the middle. You cross there. You're already in the middle, and you don't have too much further to go. And God bless those girls. Found somewhere over there.
And that's where you can see the bent tree in a video that was on Twitter by a reporter. So I saw that tree, and I was trying to find it, and then everything just started making sense after a while.
And that's where the crime scene was, right there.
Yeah, and so the way that is just like we were just watched. I think, see, now it's like you can visualize what we just saw, right? Like on the other end of the bridge, they went down, right down here, and then walked right like this, right? It kind of all makes sense, right? What you just saw, right?
Yeah.
And then here's that little shallow portion in the water that she was showing. And then the crime scene tape was right on this side. And apparently they were like 50 feet in, probably right around in this area. Abby, according to one of the family members that saw, was like leaning up against a tree with a hoodie and her arms crossed. And then Libby was covered with some branches. So it's really crazy stuff. I mean, just absolutely wild. But see, okay, so let's just do the timing part. Would have been at the second photograph, this one right here that was filming back. Remember that one that was filming and it had Abby in it?
Yeah.
That was at 2:07. So that's weird, interesting in a way, because they were dropped off at 1:37, and it only takes 6 minutes to walk to here. So then there's an extra 20 something minutes that we don't really know, where they just around taking photographs of people. I mean, not people, but taking photographs of themselves and trees and doing whatever. I mean, it took there's 25 minutes of missing time there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they were speaking to this person. We don't know. There's also another trail right here, the 505 trail. So let's just sort of at 2:30 when I think it's around like 2:20 when they were made to walk down the hill here, and then at 3:14, which is really not even an hour later, the father, Derek, he drove to right here, parked, got out of his car, and he walked right to this little intersection here, and there was a guy with a flannel shirt on. He's like this 70-year-old guy, McCain person. His name is McCain, one of the McCain brothers. And he talked to him, and he said, "Hey, is there anybody at the bridge?" And he said, "No, there was a couple there, though, a man and a woman. They're near the bridge." And so Derek, instead of going to the bridge now, because now he doesn't think Libby and Abby are at the bridge, walked down this trail right here, the 505 trail, and he didn't find them, obviously. Then he comes back up this way, and he gets here at about 3:30. Then he starts calling people because they're not answering their phones. He tried calling them twice. The first phone call he made was actually on the drive over right here at 3:11 as he was crossing this bridge. And then as he got to here, he called again when he got to the parking area. He called again at 3:14, and that's when, then he goes down this trail. He gets back up here at 3:30. Then he starts calling family members saying, "Hey, I can't find the girls." Then he walks from here to the Freedom Bridge, and then he gets back here at 4. And that's when everybody starts showing up, and they start searching, and they search, throughout the night. And
It was law enforcement who ultimately found the girls?
No, it was searchers. Yeah, so what happened was the first night everybody was out there searching, and they were searching, just endlessly. Tons and tons of volunteers, the family, everybody was out there. And the thing is everybody's searching. When you look at some of the photographs, the B-roll footage, everybody's over here, and that kind of makes sense, right? Because they saw some Snapchat photos where they were in this area,
Yeah.
And that means that you would look on this side of the creek, right? You wouldn't be thinking that they'd be over here, because why would the girls be going across the stream? So they're looking all around over in this area. And then the next day, they they called off search at night at one point, but family members and everybody, they kept searching throughout the night and everything. Then the next day, they got together a bunch of search people, searchers and whatnot. I mean, hundreds of people, seems like. And they're all searching around, and then around noon, a group found the bodies right here. It was actually somebody apparently on this side of the river creek that was looking in their camera, and apparently this is a story that Kelsey told me, that they saw a couple deer, and then right below the deer were Abby and Libby. I mean, it was really strange, almost kind of a spiritual situation.
Wow.
Yeah, so they look down and they find Abby and Libby there, and one of the people that found them were family members, actually, like of Abby. I think one of them might have been Becky's sister, and then the other one was Abby's mom's ex-boyfriend, or I can't even remember what the situation was there, but his name is Erskine. And he put out a post a long time ago describing the scene, but I don't really ever read it out loud or anything, because I don't know, so if it's accurate.
They've kept a lot really quiet on this case still,
yeah,
right?
It's pretty
like how they were killed, nobody knows, or
well, the thing is it kind of came out because some absolute moron released a photograph of the funeral, like the actual Libby's body in the casket.
What?
They put it out there. So she had a scarf around her neck, and then Becky had to release something that she had her neck cut, and and then
oh my God,
Abby
no
had,
way.
Yeah, and then Abby, maybe it's something like a puncture or something. We don't really know. There's no details. And the reality is we don't need to know any of that kind of stuff. But as people that investigate, you want to have that information, but it's kind of, doesn't help anybody find the killer at that point. So they were found right there. And so let's see. They were found right there. So I guess what we could do now is I can play this, the original. Which one is that? Okay, this. Oh yeah, you guys want to see this? This is a video that I made. But I think it'd be better to actually show this is the first press conference after they were found. You want to see this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm Riley. I'm with the Indiana State
He doesn't have the name of the creek right off the bat.
Police. I'm the public information officer from the Lafayette Post.
Steve Mullen, Delphi Police Department, Chief of Police.
Topaz, I'm the Carroll County Sheriff.
Basically, we're going to make this, it's going to be short and sweet. We don't have that much at this point in time. Basically, what we've got, we have found 2 bodies. Is that the Sugar Creek?
Deer Creek.
Deer Creek, sorry. In Deer Creek, about a mile east of town. We are investigating this as a crime scene. We suspect foul play. We have not made positive identification of the 2 bodies, so we're not going to be releasing any information on them at this point in time. We've got the Indiana State Police is assisting the Carroll County Sheriff's Department and the Delphi City Police Department in the investigation here. We also have the FBI Crime Scene Investigation Group here out of Indianapolis. And one thing the family asked us to do is to thank all the communities around Delphi and the people here in Delphi for assisting in attempting to locate these the 2 young children that were missing early.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is this one doesn't really reveal much. So they go through the press conference and they just say that they found the bodies, but they didn't even identify them yet. But it's pretty obvious, I mean, that's who they were looking for. I mean, they were looking for 2 girls. They found 2 bodies in the exact spot that they went missing in. So then the key press conference is this one. I mean, I'm just going to fast forward it to Carter here, and it's just this is the one where they released an image. So Libby, when she was standing at the end of the bridge, when the guy was approaching, actually turned on the camera and filmed the killer coming towards them. All right, and we know from a conversation that I had with somebody way back at the beginning who's friends with one of the people that watched, said that as he was approaching, let's see, he walks by and he says, "Hey," and then Libby says, "Hmm," and then they're talking about which way to go, which direction to go, or something like that. Even maybe I think that might have been prior to that, and then after that, Abby says, "Is that a gun?" He's got a gun. Then you hear a click sound, and then which the police told them that was him cocking the gun, and then he says, "Down the hill," and then that's when they were forced down the hill. Okay, so that's what we were described, and in this press conference they released just the still image at some point. But here's Carter. He's a pretty emotional guy.
Words tend to escape during these periods of times, and I've only had a couple of other situations in my lifetime where I'm able to stand before you and say that. Why Libby? Why Abby? Why Delphi? Why Carroll County? Why the region? Why the state? Why even the nation? I say that because this is a classic example and a clear example that evil lives amongst us. To the family, to the community, the region, the state, as a leader of the Indiana State Police, I say I am so very sorry. Resources.
Yeah, I'm gonna go water, but I can still hear it and play it. Okay, so hold on.
It's unlikely that any of you will ever see, nor will we ever see or experience again, the level of resources that are attached to this investigation. To the media, my gosh, all I can say is to give you my sincere thanks. See, this isn't like TV. There's a perception that this can be solved very quickly. Anything that we do can be solved very quickly, but this is a testament that it can't, and we need you. We've needed you since last week. We need you today, and we need you tomorrow. And likely, we'll need the media all across this nation. So from a simple guy like me to you, I say thank you. To the people dressed funny like me and those that represent the law enforcement profession, please understand we're human beings just like you. I'd stand anywhere in the nation with people standing behind me. And I would suggest to you that every time something like this happens, a little piece of us dies as well. But I also want you to understand how committed we are as a collective one, and we will continue. This has been briefed all the way up to the director of the FBI, Director Comey, and Greg Mass is going to talk a little bit about that. I've had an opportunity to speak to my boss, Governor Eric Holcomb, a couple different times about this situation, and every time I do, I see this look that comes over his face, just like yours in this community's. And that's the unfortunate experience of experiencing evil. We're not stopping. The poster in front of you. Someone knows who this individual is. Someone knows who this individual is. Is it a family member? Is it a neighbor? Is it an acquaintance? Is it an associate? Or maybe that one guy that lives over at that one place that just kind of not right. Maybe it's his jeans. Maybe it's his jacket or his sweatshirt. Maybe it's his shirt tail. Maybe it's his posture. Maybe it's the right hand in his pocket. You see, even with technology, we need human intelligence. In other words, we need you. I'm not suggesting that science, that everything that we can do as science has been done, because we are just getting started. Abby and Libby deserve us. They deserve every single one of us, and not just the people standing up here on the stage that have given so much of their lives to not just this, but to this profession, but each and every one of you. Each and every person listening, watching, or seeing this in some form, we need you. Libby and Abby need you. Please do not rationalize tips away. Rationalize what you think that might not be important away. By thinking he would never do that to another human being. Or think, what I know doesn't matter. Let folks like the people that are standing behind me with such incredible passion and commitment and dedication to this profession make that determination. Tips are anonymous. Some might not want to talk about it because they don't want to get involved, because they know the individual. Again, he may be a family member, probably has family. No one will ever know. No one will ever know. There's not an agency on the planet better than helping us facilitate this than the FBI. And they're as entrenched in this as anybody. No one will know. As poor as this picture is, somebody knows. And if you're watching, we'll find you. Who's next? I hate to ask you that question, and I'd give my life to not have to. But I know you've asked yourself that very question. We must recognize it. You see, we're all the same. We're all human beings. We must keep our resolve for Libby and Abby, for this community, and frankly, to ensure that good trumps evil. And it will. You're going to hear more in just a minute about what we know. Do not discount the voice that you'll hear. We will stay committed, with resolve very, very rarely exhibited with human behavior, until this conclusion. Please be patient. Become our partners and communicate with us as often as you can. And now, from a very humble servant, that's the most blessed guy on this planet to represent the profession that I represent, to Abby and Libby. It's my hope and my prayer that you're now experiencing God's promise of eternal peace.
It's horrendous, because I mean, this is 2017, February 22nd, so 8 days after they were found. But
Wow, that guy, he chokes you up, man.
yeah, it's weird. At the beginning, he never really got to me at all, because I don't know what it was. But now, when I hear him, I think differently now, especially lately.
Is he still on this case?
Well,
This man?
he's never worked on. He doesn't work on the case. He's the Indiana State Police superintendent. Like, he's the head. I mean, he gets updates and stuff. It's all the detectives and everybody that work on it. But he runs the show, basically. I mean,
I see.
I don't know even if that's correct. I mean, they obviously give him reports, but I think this guy right here, Jerry Holman, is the one that is the lead on the entire thing. All right. So they're going to play audio here. See, in the first press
At
conference...
this time, I would like to invite Greg
mass assist.
Yeah, this guy's interesting. So I mean, he's the FBI guy.
The FBI plays an important support role in this investigation, this joint investigation. I'm very humbled by the response that the resources that are under my direction have brought, and hopefully the contributions that we are making. On any given day, we have 20 FBI agents that are here providing investigative help, whether that's running down leads, conducting interviews, helping with lead tracking system, providing intelligence analysis support, providing technical assistance. Every night I update our FBI headquarters to our Deputy Assistant Director, and as the Superintendent mentioned, this has been briefed to the FBI Director on 2 occasions. So whatever resource that the FBI has available, whether it's here in the state of Indiana or nationally, we have brought those resources, and we will continue to do so. We were committed to working around the clock, as we have been over the last 9 days.
He does like a little bit of a profile here in a second.
And will continue to do so until this case is solved. To the members of the community, when I met with our behavioral analysis unit and their expertise and their experience, it is oftentimes even unwitting that a member of the community may have information that is germane to this investigation. And I'd like the community to go back 9 days and go back to the afternoon of February 13th, Monday, February 13th, and just think if you had an interaction with an individual who inexplicably canceled an appointment that you had together, or an individual called into work sick and canceled an important appointment or a social engagement, and at the time gave what would have been a plausible explanation. My cell phone broke, or I had a flat tire on my car. But in retrospect, that excuse no longer holds water. That may be important. Likely so are behavioral indicators that this individual may have exhibited since the afternoon of May 13th. Did this individual travel unexpectedly? Did they change their appearance? Did they shave their beard, cut their hair, change the color of their hair? The superintendent mentioned the clothes that this individual was wearing in the photo. Did they change the way they dress? Did their behavior change? Did their sleep pattern is different now? Did they start abusing drugs or alcohol whereas they would not have? Have they been anxious, nervous, irritable? Have they followed this case and what the media is putting out with a sense that is not normal? Have they had?
Yeah, I think that would make a lot of us suspects then, since a lot of the true crime people follow cases in a way that isn't.
Well, you see, they try to make true crime people suspects in these cases when things go cold, you know?
Oh, yeah. I was turned in on this one because I knew too much. He just knows too much. No, I'm going out and finding the information. But that's actually what led to all of my contacts, because the prosecutor actually got a hold of me, and we were talking.
I didn't even know that.
And we
we
were talking about like how I could help them make a video if they caught the guy and help them at trial. That's the weird part about it. It was good for me, but
Ongoing discussions regarding their whereabouts on that afternoon or thereafter. Please, if you have that information, call that into the tip line. After this press conference, the FBI will be putting out a series of these indicators on our social media, so it'll be available not only to the citizens of this community, but across the state of Indiana and then nationally as well. We'll also be utilizing digital billboards, and in any way we can spread this message, we will. I'll just finalize my remarks just to say that to my law enforcement partners behind me, to the community at large, 9 days ago, the FBI stood shoulder to shoulder with you. We're not going anywhere. We will be here until this case is solved, and I am confident this case will be solved. Thank you.
yeah. So I mean, put a 1 if you've never seen that press conference before. I mean, there's a lot of people. I think a lot of people that are just into the, you know, from
I've never
Chasing
seen any
channel
of this.
that are, you know, Summer Wells, more, you know, focused people. Yeah,
I've never seen any of this.
You've seen it before, Kubi. Come on, jeez. I'm saying if you've never seen it. All right. So somebody up there said, "Why are you playing that again?" Well, because I think it's important. I mean, to if you haven't seen it before, to go through and see how things were playing out at the time.
I've never seen it, and I'm the other person here with Gray. I've never seen it ever.
Yeah.
So
let's see. They end up. Let me get back to this guy again.
With the hope that somebody will recognize this voice. And I want to be very clear that what you're about to hear is just 4 short words. Excuse me, 3 words.
See, I think it is 4 because I think the first one it says the audio they released in 2017 was. It sounds like down the hill, but I think it says get down the hill. Like there's this little G apostrophe down the hill. Because people, but you can't, you can hear it, but if you tell people that, they get confused, so they just go down the hill, right?
Down the hill. You're going to hear this played 4 times. The audio quality is not superb, but there's enough there that somebody could recognize this person's voice. And as Superintendent Carter said, not to rationalize away. If you hear this today, and you think, my God, that sounds like fill in the blank,
Right.
Call us. Make an anonymous tip. Tell us who you think it is. Let us investigate it. If it's not the right person, they'll just be out a little bit of time and they'll be cleared and they can go on and they'll never know that you called. But you may tell us who the right person was. And you could be the person that helps us to solve this horrible crime. Micah, play the clip, please.
Yeah, my first thought was he sounded just like Daryl on The Walking Dead.
Play it one more time.
Can't even understand it on theirs.
Yeah, I'll play it here in a minute. It's not good. Down here.
So that audio clip later today will be available on the Indiana State Police website.
It's still there.
You can simply go to our website and add the extension /delphi.htm. There will be information on that website that talks about the reward that is being collected
The
now.
reward's way up there, like way over $250,000. So that's the image that they released at the time, right there. Let me see if there's any. They're asking questions at the end. That's Robert Ives, the prosecutor. He's the guy that contacted me. Was he local or just passing through? They're all like, "Do you want to do it? Do you want to do it?" Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any specific information that says the person is local or from far away? No. Could this be a stranger crime? That's a possibility. Could this be somebody that knew that the girls were going to be there at that time? That's a possibility. Nothing is off the table.
So back then, that sort of makes you, that part. The second part was that he's saying it's possible that the person knew them, who was going to meet them, or knew of them. That it was that the killer knew that they were going to be there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The only thing I would add is where the FBI can come involved, and if it does lead interstate or multi-jurisdictionally, we have that capability to stretch it further outside of this immediate community across the state or across state lines.
Let's go one at a time. I'll let you do your
Right.
follow-up, then I'll come to you. What's your follow? Go ahead and do your follow-up.
How long after Liberty posted to social media did this crime happen? Did the murders happen immediately after, or was there time for someone to see them on social media?
Yeah, see, that's interesting.
As especially, we know that there are going to be lots of questions.
See, that was a good question. I mean, the thing is back the law enforcement and even prosecutor Ives said that there was no social media aspect to this case. They said that for years. They said that to, I mean, years. They said the same thing over and over again. even, I just talked to Becky, the grandmother, who I call the mother because she's the one that raised them, and then Kelsey, all in the last week, and they both said, man, that's the part that's frustrating. They always said that social media wasn't part of it, and now that the whole new angle that we'll get to in a little bit is coming back in that direction.
That we specifically cannot answer, because there are things that we do not want to tip our hand to the person that's responsible for this. That kind of information we're keeping close to ourselves. Is it reasonable to think that that's an area, one of two things happen. That was a chance encounter. That's possible. Don't think it's likely, but it's possible. Or that person knew that they were going to be there. That's possible as well. Those are things that we're looking into. Question over here.
Online communication with this individual, has there been any evidence of that from the girls with this person?
Online communication.
Similar to what I just said, there's specific pieces of information that we're not discussing. The best example that I can give you is if somebody is a victim of a burglary and then they're murdered, everybody wants to know how they were murdered. If we go into the details and we say they were stabbed twice in the back and they were shot in the head, then everybody hears that. And then when we get tips, people tell us that, and the tip is useless. We're keeping information that will only be known by the person or by who that person told. And when that's shared with us, it will set off the alarm bells and we'll know.
Based upon what you have and other investigators have seen of this crime, do you believe this individual has killed before, and what makes you believe?
Do you think they've killed before?
Greg, I'll let Agent Massa address
That's
that.
interesting. I never.
There has been no indication right now that this is part of a serial murder, if that's what your question is. So as of the facts that we have collected at this point in time, we have not tied it to any other known homicides.
After you playing 3 words, you have an extensive volume of video and audio. You're not sharing it, or is there more?
Yeah.
We have other information that we're not sharing, and specific to your question, Raphael, keep in mind that there the likeliness, the possibility of more than one person. We're not saying that the voice that you heard is the same as this person here.
Yeah, but they changed that later. But it's interesting back then that they said maybe there was more than one person.
Well, it's interesting too that they held back information, and people seem to hate that, even up to the cases we follow today.
Yeah.
Right now, people insist, why haven't they said this? They haven't done that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they do a lot behind the scenes, and
yeah.
we're not privy to any of that information.
Yeah, and we don't need to know. Like some of the stuff, there's some stuff that they don't release that could be helpful, but they need to keep it because, that might be an element that only the killer might know, But it's like sometimes that one element, let's just say there were signatures. Like Robert Ives, the prosecutor, last year, or maybe, last year at some point, maybe in 2020, came forward and said that that he could think of at least 3 things at the crime scene that were signatures. Mm-hmm. And that was like, whoa, that really made people think. But, let's say the signature was an item. Now, wow, so do you keep that because that's only something the killer would know, or do you share what the item is because maybe there's a friend of that person that says, wow, he makes that thing all the time. He has like 10 of them sitting on his mantle at home, or like a little doll or something, let's say.
Right. Yeah.
So that's
difficult. Yeah, you're right.
So it's kind of one of those things you're holding back, but man, could it be? Because Robert Ives, again, he says, I think there's a lot of things that they could release, and I've argued with them to release that, but it's up to them. So he felt like there was things that they could release, but
this is all very complicated, very involved, and as much as we would like to tell you everything, more importantly, we want to solve the crime.
Yeah, we want to tell you everything, but we want to solve the crime.
Correct. That could be or could not be. The audio is also from Liberty's phone. So again,
See, this guy, they made it so confusing. There were so many people. I knew right off the bat that it was a video that they took a still frame from just based on the quality, and then it was audio on the video. You know, when you film a video, there's audio on it. But everyone out there was like, wow. So she recorded audio and then took a picture too, and all this stuff, and it was just really strange. But now everybody knows it was a video that they took a still frame from and showed everybody. And that's what, and they gave us down the hill in this press conference, and there was 3 still images that were released at one point early on.
again, she had the presence of mind to have the phone on and to capture video as well as audio.
See the way he said that, capture video as well
No, I
as audio?
can't.
To be clear, is that a loop that you're playing several times?
That is a loop that we played 4 times for.
Is that a loop you're playing? No, the guy sat there and went, down the hill, down the hill, down the hill, down the hill. I mean, some of these questions.
I mean, imagine.
Yeah.
Really?
You didn't need to ask that question.
Purposes for you to hear it.
The cell phones were found with one cell phone. Did the suspect or suspects leave anything that you can talk about after scene?
No, there's nothing I can speak to about the scene investigation and collection of evidence.
Did that photo come from one of the girls' cell phones in that recording?
Yes, and thank you for asking that, Paris. To clarify, the image that you're looking at here came from Liberty's phone.
Is it longer? Are you holding some that you can see how he walks? Is there any more of this image of this possible?
Of course there is.
There's nothing that we are prepared to release at this time.
Can you, I guess, reconcile, this is believed to be the main suspect, the voice is believed to be a suspect. Can you say you believe that's the voice of that man in that photo?
No, I can't say that because we weren't there.
They were asking him, can you say that voice that you're hearing is that person? But later on, they switched it to the voice that you're hearing is that person on the bridge.
We know that voice was captured from her cell phone. We know this image was captured from her cell phone. Keep in mind, all of you are in the television business. What do you see out of the TV? You see this. You don't see what's over here. You don't see what's over here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots more that we're looking at.
Captain, how was it determined that he was the main suspect? Can you go into detail on that?
Well, of course he's a suspect. I mean,
As I indicated
killer.
before,
I mean-
the reason we believe this is suspect is based on the totality of the evidence.
yeah. Because there's people out there that go, how do we know that that's even the killer? Are you kidding me? Like he walks by and he says, they have the video, right? He walks by and he says,
Down the hill.
hey guys, down the hill.
Come on.
Yeah, no. And after that, he went and did something else. Yeah, he said down the hill, and then he just he let
Left.
them go on their merry way. And there was just happened to be another killer out there that was
We've gathered thus far.
unbelievable.
That has led us to believe this is the person
Crazy.
that at least participated
No, Abby didn't have a phone.
in the murders of Liberty German and Abigail Williams.
The picture that you guys have, as we mentioned before, it seems like it's enhanced, and we talked about that a little bit yesterday. How enhanced is this picture? Did it come from a Snapchat photo that she had saved? Was he in the background?
Wow, see, they're talking about
How
Snapchat.
far away was he from a picture that she might have just snapped on that bridge?
How far
Now, we're
away?
not going to release that.
We figured it out. He said how far away, and it turns out to be about 60 feet. Okay, but he's very small in the image. You know, like if you took a huge image, a video, they had to crop out a little tiny portion to get his portion, and actually Abby is in the video also, and they wanted to crop her out, so they just have him in the video.
So she's in the video as well?
Yeah, because she's still on the bridge, maybe 10 feet away or something. So, like, part of her jacket and stuff like that's in it. You can actually see it. Here, I'll show. Well, I didn't want to skip forward. So at this time, all they had was a still frame and down the hill, right? Then in 2000 and I think it was, what year was that? 2019, they came forward with another press conference. They just kind of go through answer more questions here, but it was interesting how a lot of people were, talking about the social media angle back then. And so let me see, where's the other? I think I had it in here. I might not have. Hold on, let me get I have another video that I wanted to play. It's the 2019 press conference. So after this, over the years, there's been a whole bunch of people that people thought were suspects. Daniel Nation, Paul Edders, just tons, all these people that the public deemed suspects, but law enforcement never said anything. They were people of interest. They would look into them and stuff like that, but they never turned out to be anything. And Chadwell was the latest one. And just 18 miles, or I think maybe it was even 15 miles away, he lured a little girl into his house. She was only 9 years old, to have her come pet a dog. It was like a block party. And she went in there, and he actually took her down in the basement, tied her up. He assaulted her. It was absolutely brutal. But the police, caught onto it, and they went downstairs, and they got into the house, and then they found her, and she lived, and he just got sentenced to 99 years in prison. And he didn't go to trial. He just admitted doing it. And so a lot of people thought he had something to do with it. He kind of has a similar look. I got to tell you, there are so many sexual deviants in that area, and I just think in the country way more than I ever thought. I'm talking about monsters all over the place.
Yeah, sadly, there really are. If you ever look at the that map, it's just like on fire. It's insane.
Yeah,
how many
it's
there
sick.
are.
It's sick. It really is. So let me get. I'm going to get the 2019 press conference is when things really started, picking up, and that's when I made an animation of what happened on the bridge using an animation that was released at that press conference. So let me get to that clip. Got to go to the So Mean folder here. I have it in here. Press conference. Yeah, there it is. I'll put it at the end. That's the 2019 April 22nd. All right, so we got Carter again here.
Understand why?
I think it starts right here.
My community, how grateful I am. You inspire people that you don't even understand, and you don't even understand why.
This is 2 years later.
Information is being released today is the result of literally thousands and thousands of hours of extraordinary investigative efforts by Delphi, Carroll County, the FBI, the Indiana State Police, and countless other agencies. This community surrounded us some 26 months ago, and you did everything you could to support us, but most importantly, you surrounded the family of these two little girls. Gosh, I'll never forget it. After you hear what we're going to release today, I'm going to ask for your continued support, your continued understanding, your empathy and compassion as we move forward to find out who did this, and we will. We're seeking the public's help to identify the driver of a vehicle that was parked at the old CPS DCS welfare building in the city of Delphi that was abandoned on the east side of County Road 300 North.
Yeah, so the people got confused there. So it's an abandoned CPS building. So the building is what's abandoned, not the car. Okay, so I actually had to email Carter, then he'd give it to Holman, and Holman responded. Yeah, it was right. This building right here used to be a CPS building, but it's such a ludicrous place. They just they just shut it down. They go, God, it didn't make any sense to have it sitting over there. So it's an abandoned CPS building, and there was a car parked at the area. But when you listen to it, it's interesting because they just want to know who the driver of the vehicle was. So they know that there was a vehicle there. So I always thought that that was a message to someone that they're looking at, and they know that that person has that same type of vehicle, and they are letting them know that they're aware of that vehicle, and they want to see if he'll do something with it. Does he quickly try to sell it or something like that? That's what I thought, because they want to know who the driver of the vehicle that was parked there, but they don't want to tell us what the vehicle was.
Right.
I mean, it's interesting. Why wouldn't they want to say, hey, there was a green Subaru sitting there? How about, does anybody know who has a green Subaru? So I think they already know what the vehicle is. And apparently it was back.
So they never give you a description of the vehicle.
Yeah, they never do, yeah. So,
Oh, wow.
So that's sort of interesting.
Next to the Hoosier Heartland Highway.
So I'll just rewind that part again.
Vehicle that was parked at the old CPS DCS welfare building in the city of Delphi that was abandoned on the east side of County Road 300 North next to the Hoosier Heartland Highway between the hours of noon to 5 on February 14th, 2017. If you were parked there or know who...
Andy, he meant 2013. So he made a lot of errors in this one thing. I mean, it wouldn't matter on 2014 if there was a car parked there. It was 2013. Everything was cleared up afterwards. But.
Was parked there, please contact the officers at the command post at the Delphi City Building. We are releasing additional portions of the audio recording from that day. Please keep in mind, the person talking is one person and is the person on the bridge with the girls.
See, there you go. Now they've got it where there isn't another person. The voice is the person on the bridge, right?
Mm.
See, that's what they're saying at this press conference. That was 2 years later.
This is not two different people speaking. Please listen to it very, very carefully. We are also releasing video recovered from Libby's phone. This video has never before been previously released.
That was just a moment of like.
The video shows a suspect walking on the bridge. When you see the video, watch the person's mannerisms as they walk. Watch the mannerisms as he walks. Do you recognize the mannerisms as being someone that you might know? Remember, he is walking on the former railroad bridge. Because of the deteriorated condition of the bridge, the suspect is not walking naturally due to the spacing between the ties.
Mm-hmm. But you got a lot of people saying, "Oh, look, he's got a knee, a replaced knee. He's got he's limping. He's doing a." Nobody knows.
I've heard a lot of that. Yeah.
There's only 2 seconds of video. Nobody can tell by looking at that. And so what we're looking at here is they want you to just sort of, do you recognize this person based on their mannerisms? You know, maybe the hands in the pocket. Just, you know, if it was your friend that you've known for years and you saw just 2 seconds of him,
you're going to know.
The overall, you go, oh yeah, that's I think that's Jim, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Hey Jay, what's up?
During the course of this investigation, we have concluded the first sketch released will become secondary as of today.
Yeah, so let me show you how that's. So this is a major press conference here. You know, like they absolutely changed a lot of stuff. So let me show you what the. I'll show you what the sketch is. The sketch was released too back in 2017, but quite a bit after. You know, everything was going down. Like you know, maybe a few months later. Let's see. Sketches. There's a one that shows both of them. So let me just. Yeah. So here are the 2 sketches that were. This was the first one released right here. This one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was the first one released, and that kind of looks like kind of how you picture in the image a little bit, like a 40-year-old kind of guy. You know, I don't know about the hat. You know, I thought that might have been the hat early, but now I think it's a hood with a hat underneath it, and the bill is kind of, you know, like this, and the hood's right there. But anyways, it doesn't really even matter on that. But so that was the first image release. And then at this press
and they changed it to that guy?
Yeah, I mean, Tom Cruise to a hobo. I mean, hobo to a Tom Cruise or something, right? Yeah, so apparently this one here was based off of the video itself. Like the video and maybe a witness, but mainly the video. Then this one here was actually the first sketch created. This one was made 3 days after the murder by a witness, and they didn't go with it. They went with this because that's kind of what you see. You see a graying goatee on the guy. I mean, it's really bizarre. But anyways, this is the current sketch right there.
What's the best picture of this guy on the bridge that you have, Gray?
Well, there's a few still frames that they're just so blurry. It doesn't even matter. Even the best one that you got, it's just
still a mess.
Yeah, because it's so small. I mean, I'll show you guys in a little bit kind of what they were working with when they did it. And you got to imagine, remember that first video that we watched today where the camera's moving around and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Libby had the phone down by her side and was just kind of holding it out, and that was probably going like this. And they stabilized it and pulled out what they
And
could.
plus, she's nervous. She doesn't know what the hell's going on there.
Yeah. So we'll play this, and then I'll play you what I've got this on my screen. And I fixed their video. Their video was just centered, and his legs and stuff move around weirdly.
I remember you doing that. I've seen that. I remember that clearly.
So here we go.
The result of the new information and intelligence over time leads us to believe the sketch, which you will see shortly, is the person responsible for the murders of these two little girls. We also believe this person is from Delphi, currently or has previously lived here, visits Delphi on a regular basis, or works here. We believe this person is currently between the age range of 18 and 40, but might appear younger than his true age. Directly to the killer, who may be in this room. We believe you are hiding in plain sight. For more than 2 years, you never thought we would shift gears to a different investigative strategy, but we have. We likely have interviewed you or someone close to you. We know that this is about power to you, and you want to know what we know, and one day you will. A question to you. What will those closest to you think of when they find out that you brutally murdered two little girls? Two children. Only a coward would do such a thing. We are confident that you have told someone what you have done. Or at the very least, they know, because of how different you are since the murders. We try so hard to understand how a person could do something like this to two children. I recently watched a movie called The Shack.
Love that movie.
And there's also a book that talks so well about evil, about death, and about eternity.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, it's great. The book
To the
was
murderer.
awesome.
I believe you have just a little bit of a conscience left. And I can assure you that how you left them in that woods is not what they're experiencing today. To the family, I hope that you all will give them some time, because we're going to be asking that there's no media inquiry or no media response for at least the next 2 weeks, and I hope you understand why. The family found out about this information this morning.
You know, what's interesting about that is the family had already seen the full video. So it's, I don't know if they needed this time to The only thing that was new to them was the new sketch and one more word, but that wasn't even new because that was on the video that they watched too. So some of that was, even when I talked to Becky, she goes, I don't even know why they said that. But anyways, it's pretty funny.
Maybe to get the media to not,
Yeah.
sit outside their doors.
Probably, yeah.
I just want the family to know that when I take my last breath on this earth, I'll be thinking of them. There's going to be a tremendous amount of questions. I know that. Never in my career have I stood in front of something like this. Please be patient with us, please. We're just beginning. We are just now beginning. And I can tell you on behalf of the sheriff and the police chief, so many other partners that have stood with us over this period of time, that we will not stop.
So there you go. There's that sketch that they released in 2019, a new one. Doesn't look anything like the
I just unveiled the person that we believe responsible
That would blow
for the
me
murder of
away.
these two little girls.
Yeah, well, one of the things that's, makes things confusing because they say this is now the person we're looking for, and the other one is secondary. But then in a news interview, like literally a week later, Carter says, "Well, I think it's somewhere in between the two."
Oh, my Lord.
Like, how do you know now? So then you had all these sleuthy people taking both sketches and making a blended, merged image of them, and it's just a sketch, anyways.
I mean, we have some of the greatest minds in the world, engineers who can create all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell can't we take a piece of video and clear it up to the point where we can see the person?
Yeah,
Why is this impossible?
Well, the thing is like, look at right now on the screen. See that? His face. You can't clear that up because it's blurry, and it's just. See, the thing is there aren't. I'll show you in a minute why. I was actually while we were doing that, I moved another clip over, and I'll give you the answer because there aren't enough pixels to do anything with. That's
Pixels. Yep.
That's the.
So
I invite media to take a look at that now. It's not up. Kim.
I mean, if it was 4K, you could, but it was only, probably.
We're also
720.
going to show you a video not previously released that superintendent spoke to, and also the audio that's additional to what's been previously released. It's only a slight change in it. So give Sergeant Riley just a second as he gets that up and ready.
I mean, he looks like a kid,
Yeah.
a fat-faced kid.
That's why they said 18 to 40, Or he could be older, but he looks young.
Wow.
So the only thing that they released now are guys. That's the only other new piece, guys. And it's not one sentence. There's time in between. Like he says, guys. There's like 10 seconds of maybe the girls talking, and then it says down the hill after he pulls out a gun and stuff. They just put it together, and everybody thinks it's a sentence, but that isn't how it went.
Stand by for the video, please.
Dude,
There is no sound of the video.
That was so freaky to everybody. Oh my God, look at you can finally see him moving.
Ugh.
And see that tree behind him, that forked tree there? That's what I was talking. That's made up of about 5 trees, and it's 200 and something feet behind
As
him.
Superintendent Carter mentioned, he is on the railway bridge. You have to take different steps to get to it. This information later this afternoon will be on the State Police website. For the community that's here, we have 100 copies of the news release. If you put in that URL, you'll be able to get to that site to play it. And we also have that same release for you in the media. And the rest of the state will get that release in about 15 minutes. So we appreciate those of you that came here. This concludes our announcement. Thank you for your time, patience, and courtesy.
Yeah, so in that press conference, they want to know who the driver of the abandoned the driver of the vehicle that was parked in front of the abandoned CPS building. They released the new Younger sketch, and they gave us video right there.
Now,
Okay.
can you show your video, Gray, where you fixed it?
Yeah, so I've got like this whole thing here. So in the background, that's just an image that I use. So don't go, oh, I see a person, because it's not related. See how it's a video on top of an image? So this is the one I made. And you can see it. It's,
Here, hold on.
it's not
Get it.
perfectly lined up with the lines below it, but you can see it. Oh, wait, you can't see it. Hold on. Are you guys looking at it? Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah. I'm okay.
Yeah, so there you go. And he's actually past that last platform. He's closer to the camera.
I think you can almost.
Yeah, but that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, no, there's no goatee. Like, there's no scruff.
But you can see it on him, right? See it? I can see it right there, see?
But that's like a. That's a,
It looks like he's got like a...
like something up here.
Yeah, and then there's this little white thing that maybe could be... nobody knows what that is, but it could be a scarf that he had over his face or something. Yeah.
Can you play it in slow motion?
Well, it's just... This is
When he gets closer?
Well, I don't have the clip on my... I just have this in my program. I mean, in Streamlabs, so it's like...
Right there. Right there. Before it ends. Right there.
Yeah, I mean...
You can tell that he's not as old as I was originally thinking. He was a much older man.
Yeah, I don't know.
There.
I don't know. I think I can...
Like when you see his nose
so you don't
kind of
see
come up?
a goatee on him or anything?
I don't. You do?
Yeah, I've got a couple
sorry, I'm,
images
like,
that I made that
so
you can
close
see
to
it.
my microphone right now.
Yeah, I see something on his chin, but whether or not that's... I have one photo that I enhanced a long time ago, one that they released that looks like... Look at Ashley. Oh, I see it chasing. Yeah, all of a sudden, there's this new thing that was just...
Shut up.
Look
Come
at
on,
that.
I've never seen it like that. I want to see it again.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find the actual clip somewhere, but I want to show you. So we went, I didn't go there, but my friend Beth went out there, and I was on the phone with her. And so this is an example. Like, it's not quite right. The camera should be over here to the left a couple feet.
Right.
And so probably right
there.
Here is the spot that she's standing. That's exactly where look at the... It has the exact line on the ground. See how it jogs up like that? Well, you can't see what I'm showing right now, but let me go to the other screen. Hold on. So this is one that we had done. And so she's standing in the same spot. And then when you zoom in, so this is what they're giving us. They're cropping it out. And you can see how there isn't really detail in the face. Like in this case, if she had a hoodie on, you wouldn't be able to tell who that was. This one, she has hair, and you might be able to say, "Oh, I know who that is," because you're friends with her. But he's got the hoodie on and a hat, and if you really zoom in on the face, so I'm just zooming in on.
It's really hard to tell.
And it gets worse actually when you.
The more you go, yeah.
Yeah. So
That is absolutely infuriating.
See?
Because for one piece of a millisecond, you can actually see his face.
Yeah,
and then it's gone.
No, but we even zoomed in on the one that you think you can see his face, and it's not clear at all. So
that is so frustrating.
Yeah.
I wonder if there is actually more to that video. Is there? Do you know if there is? Has Kelsey said, or?
Yeah, there's more to the video, but there's no more of him that was closer, or they would have released it. So there's more video. There's probably more audio, and there's other videos that they took that day as well, and photographs, but none of them had the killer in it, or they'd be showing us. But so let me show you this other video that kind of gives you exactly what was going down, because this is the one I made. It was an animation. So here, watch this. It's got music to it. So this is how it worked. Watch. So they're on the bridge, and she bends down and takes a photograph. This is Libby. She always wore tie-dye shirts. So she took that photograph right there. The music's kind of sad. We'll try to get to what you were just talking about in a minute with the face, but I just want to show this in order. So Then she gets onto that third platform, and then she takes a picture back that way of Abby. It's not absolutely perfect, but that's that shot right there.
Was Libby the more outgoing of the two?
Well, she'd been there many times, and Abby'd never crossed the bridge. But maybe, maybe, I don't know, it's hard to say. And so here's them walking. I was thinking maybe the guy was behind him like that, see, in the background, kind of coming at him already, and they were like, whoa, let's go to the end of the bridge. And like, she's still on the end of the bridge, and Libby's at the end holding the phone low by her leg, and then here comes the guy, right?
Oh, I hate him.
Like this. And then he's probably, like, I have the audio too. So it just kind of keeps looping around. But I think that's how it went. You know, I mean, these are the exact locations and everything. And Becky's told people to watch this video if they want to have a pretty good idea of what it was like. So hopefully, you know, it's pretty accurate. So let me see where I've got that, because that on the Delphi clip here, I obviously have that somewhere. So maybe I can just.
Do we know what kind of phone she had that recorded this? Do we have any idea?
I think it was an iPhone,
like a
7?
6 or something.
Yeah, maybe a 6 or 7, I think. So I think it was only like 720. Even if it was 1080, it wouldn't have looked good. It would have been tiny. Because again, if you look at this one, look how that's not even. I mean, I have to zoom it out to show you what this is what it would look like. See that?
See, his
That's crazy.
clothing makes him appear to be an older man.
Yeah, but his face, but he's right there. You can't see. Look, to me, it always looked like
right there at the end. It's like you can almost see him.
Look at, that's what it would look like. Wow. Unless you were zoomed in. See how small that is, the person?
Yeah, that's insane.
So that's what they used, and you can tell. Like, let's say, let me show you this again. Watch at one point.
How couldn't they have gotten away by then? Look how far away he was.
Well, because they didn't know where would you go. It's just woods, and you know, they didn't know where, you know.
No, wait. Okay, so explain this to me because I don't know. Are they back where they started, or they're at the other end? And is there a way to get away on the other end?
No, I mean, I just showed you. Yeah, they went across the bridge.
Yeah, I need to see again.
They took the photograph back that way. That's the one of Abby. Then they kept going, and that forked tree is right here, and then they made it all the way to this end of the bridge, and it was right here where they're standing right now, and the killer's just past platform 6 coming over them. And now you're on, you know, there's properties and stuff, but you wouldn't know. See, here's another thing too. You don't know what the person's doing. Yeah, you don't know he's a bad actor, you know, but you know that they were getting really panicky and scared, and they were discussing which way to go. Actually, like, hey, should we go this way? They don't know. But what's crazy though is Abby actually lives down here, but didn't know that would lead there, because this is a private drive right here.
Oh my Lord, help me.
So they
crossed the bridge, and then he was coming across the bridge.
Yeah.
So he's behind them on the tail end of the bridge, and then he makes them go down the hill.
Yeah. And then I
was almost thinking, and you're going to hate me, but
boy.
I'm thinking, okay, he's so far away from them. It's not, did they stand there and wait for him to get close enough where they could hear his voice? Or was there somebody with him? And they're the ones who said, okay, girls, down the hill. And then this guy followed, and they went down the hill.
Well, no, because they know that when he walked by, he says, hey, guys, because they have the video, right? Like, they're watching it. They can see his feet and stuff because he's got the camera down low. And later they said the voice that you're hearing is the guy on the bridge, right?
Right.
Right.
How many feet away was he, Greg, do you think?
He's only 60 feet away at the time.
60 feet, okay.
But so,
not as far as it appears.
But then. I think that they made it. The girls were already right here, anyways, and I think they were going to cross the bridge. But there must have been a point where they looked back and saw this guy coming, and then they went, "Oh crap!" So they decided to go to the other end, because who would want to cross somebody on that little narrow bridge? Would you?
No,
my God,
no
hell
way.
no. Yeah. So they probably went over here thinking, okay, he'll turn around, but
He'll
didn't.
pass us or something.
He didn't, and that's the part that I always tell. Like, even this morning, I woke up and I was like, God damn, I mean, just think about it. Like, you know when you get that panicky feeling that you get sometimes when some weird shit's happening? He's coming and coming and coming, and it never went away, that panicking feeling. In fact,
So
it got worse and
frustrating.
worse and worse and worse, and they end up getting killed. I mean, it's just freaking... that makes me really...
I mean, I can imagine, not to make it personal, but as many times as my daughter and her friend go out into our woods, there's people jogging out there. There's men walking out there literally all the time. And how many times have they been in a very similar situation? And I know my daughter, she would probably try and get video or a photo or something, but she wouldn't run.
Yeah.
And I know she wouldn't. She would stand. And, gosh, she's going to get quite a lecture when she gets home. 'Cause I watched this.
Wait, let's see. I think I was supposed to be on this one. But I think you could see it better on the other one, right? Because it was bigger.
Yeah, I can. So when you put me back up, I can see it really well on YouTube. It's crystal clear.
Okay, I'm going to put this back up, but I need to...
frustrating.
I need to go... I'm going to try to figure out where that video on the... Not that one, this one. Where that's coming from and go get
Oh
it.
my God, I hate this video so much.
Oh, there it is.
I
So
hate it.
yeah, here it is. So let me get it, and then I'll... So it's called...
See, he looks so much
Suspect
older, and
Bridge
then
Guy.
when his face lifts, it's like, oh shit. And literally, I've seen this in passing. I've never watched it like this before. So to see this is crazy to me.
German Delphi...
Right there. Damn it. Oh, I hate this case. I hate it. I hate it.
All right, I got to get that video, though, so hold on.
Like older, younger.
Yeah, I don't see... Look, to me, it
You
just
don't
kinda-
see the younger.
No, because you're just kind of... Well, let's just go through it slow-mo when I get this video, though. I
I'm
don't
just
know.
pausing it on YouTube. I'm playing with it on YouTube on my own now.
Oh, you found the actual video?
No, I'm playing us on YouTube because it's much clearer than Zoom.
Oh,
So I have
gotcha.
two screens up. You'll see me look back and forth. Oh, yeah. He's the younger one. He's not older. Get over here. Come here, you. Oh, I hate you. I want to stab you right in your face.
You're so mean.
Allegedly. Oh, yeah. He's the younger Gray. I'm telling you. Gray's like, I've been on this for fucking 5 years.
No, it's
lady.
okay if you think he looks younger. I mean, obviously they have a sketch that... where is this, though? Hold on.
But he doesn't look like that
Guy-
fat feast person
There we go.
who looks 12.
All right. I'm going to go back to my...
Oh my God, I'm going to be obsessed with this.
I'm going to have to go to the middle... Oh, wait, shit. Cancel.
All right, you come here. Come on.
I'm going to go to the middle monitor, and then I'm going to load this one up.
Oh, it's about to disappear, isn't it? Because you're taking it off.
Yeah.
You further, you get extension.
I've got all the still frames, too. The actual... So see this part right here, this blue coming, this darkness?
Mm-hmm.
We can tell that's not an artifact. That's actually part of Abby or even Libby that came into the screen just for a second. See? So watch, you'll see it again. Watch. Right there, boom.
Like that.
Yeah. Yeah, let me
see. Go ahead.
I'm gonna get to the slow mo.
My microphone's not yelling.
Okay, let me make it. I want to get it on his face so we can see.
Oh, it was like they moved, like, so it could have hit the corner of the pants or something. Is that what you mean? Like, they're not in the screen near
Who are
him.
you talking to?
Over there, where you said the artifact, where there's that little, and there's something there on the side.
yeah. It comes in. See right there. Look at watch.
Yeah.
It actually gets further in and then reduces.
What do you think that is? Like her jeans or something?
I think
'Cause
it's
she's
like
holding
part of the
phone?
jacket of Abby, something like that. It could be part of her leg though too, because she held it down low, so it's hard to know really. But look, see, when you look at that right there. Doesn't it seem like there's something right there on his, chin? Like right there. Can't you see?
It almost does, but then it looks like light, or is that like
Okay, but
gray
there you go.
thing
That's
around his neck, like a scarf?
That's like his
or
regular
hoodie?
skin color. Okay, that's his right here. His left hand is in the jean pocket. The right hand over here is propped up and probably has something propped up underneath.
Yeah,
it.
there's something in there.
Yeah.
Is there not?
Well, I think that's probably where the gun is that was pulled out.
Oh my god, I hate him. Go ahead.
So we'll keep going frame by frame. See, look how blurry some of them got. But
Yeah, it looks like he has 3 heads. So annoying. Yeah, that
okay,
looks like a
so that
hoodie
one's
up in his face.
pretty clear. Yeah, a lot of people thought that was his hair, but I think what it is like a when you have a hat like that and a hoodie. Like hell, I'll do it right here. Look. Other than my headset's on, makes my head pulled out, but kind of like more like this ish.
Yeah, I definitely think it's like a hoodie
More,
type thing.
like that, but not quite the way I just did it. But.
Let's see.
There's only, I think, less than 60 frames on this.
Right there. Stop. That's where you can tell he has a younger face.
Well, it's hard to tell what he's got because it's so blurry. I mean, like right
To
here,
me.
like right here, there's this stuff, whatever that is right there. I don't know what that is. Something's going on there. It's not a cigarette.
No, right there. You can see.
Yeah, I mean, he's got. It's hard to see though because it's so
That's
blurry.
a baby face.
Yeah. Could be.
That's not an old man face.
Yeah, but it's just one frame and it's absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna get an old phone. I'm gonna need you to take a flight and walk this goddamn bridge, and we're gonna see if we can figure out what you look like. Because look, yes, see,
There.
that's a young face right there.
But see, I don't see, like
You don't see
I
it.
can't tell if it's a young face or not because
Oh my God,
there's only
what's
like
the chat
40
saying?
pixels that make up his face.
Is he young or old?
Well, they're
What do
going
you
to
guys
agree with
think?
you
I don't
because most
know.
of the people that watch here from your channel, yes, chasing, watches. That's
No.
what but we don't really know what it is, right? Because if you go
I
back,
always thought he was an old man until today. I didn't know. I'm like,
but look
oh,
at that one.
some like
Look at that one.
50-year-old.
Look at that one right there. Look at that one.
Yeah, he looks old there.
Mhm.
I hate.
So why don't you use
this.
that one then? I mean,
Yeah, it
see,
looks
but-
right there. He does look like he could be in his 40s.
Yeah, and like right there, that's the one that really is the
hard
main
to
one that was released a long time ago. That shot.
He looks like a grandmother there, though. He looks like
Right.
a wicked
So why
witch
do you
that
why do
lives
you
in the
pick
gingerbread house?
Why do you pick the one that he looks young in then? See,
Well, because it looks more clear to me. It doesn't look distorted.
yeah, but these
And,
are
like,
these are
right
all
now. That's so distorted.
like these are all clear.
Right there.
Like that's
Oh,
no, but that's
nope.
clear too. See, that's clear, just as clear.
Yeah, but he doesn't even have the right nose there. It looks like his nose is about to connect to his chin. He looks like the Wicked Witch of the West there.
Yeah. Well, how about his voice?
We know that's distorted.
Hey guys.
Right?
How about that
That's-
one? What do you think of that one?
I don't even know what the hell that is.
I know if you
It
saw
looks like-
look at if you saw
Look.
that, you wouldn't even know that was a human being.
No,
at
because
some
if you
point.
look down below his head, that looks like the Anonymous mask, like coming off his chin. What the hell is that?
Well, how about this? Watch this.
Uh-oh, maybe Anonymous did it.
Like, what if you just had, like, if you had just this,
Have you played
you
with
wouldn't
these
even be able to
live?
tell that that was a human being at that
No,
point.
you can't tell that that's a human. That looks like a friggin' blob.
And unfortunately, that's kind of how.
Oh my god.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
See? Baby face right there.
You don't see, like, look at right here. What's this stuff?
What?
Down here. You don't think that maybe there's some.
I feel like that's almost.
You think that that's clear? It's just as pixelated as it was before.
No,
The sun's-
because now his face is coming up. So is that light down there, like shining? I don't know.
Yeah, like
Watch.
that. The sun's coming in, and we've done a whole. I use 3D Studio Max and put the time of date and the sun system in there, and the sun's hitting on the right side of his face, and you can't see anything on that side really. I mean, you can see some
So
detail,
frustrating.
but right there he looks like a cyclops, right?
Well, yeah, he does, but
Okay.
for an elf, I don't know what the yikes.
Yeah, so we don't really know. I don't know. It's not clear enough. I mean, you can actually see that that's right there. That's a
Right.
pretty clear one. You can see his nose.
Yeah,
you
that's
can see.
pretty clear.
But Can you really?
But
make,
where did they get this fat face, tiny nose, tall foreheaded? I don't even know.
Yeah,
Can
I
you
think
please put the picture of the suspect back up?
Well, they were just using that when they were talking to a witness and mainly the.
Oh my lord!
Right there. See. Well,
Put the other young.
Here, let's
face
go.
up.
Let's go. Hold on a second. Ah, shit. I'm gonna go to get a shot that actually looks like somebody, maybe. So that would be.
It almost looks like one of those hunting caps.
Like that one.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this looks like the.
Like the Elmer
Paperboy hat.
Fudd hats with the ears.
Yeah, we looked at some stuff like that too, but I don't know. Some of the shots it changes and things, so you never really know. But
oh my god, that's so
okay. So there's that one, and you think
I don't even know who that guy is. That doesn't even look like this guy.
Well, that's because it's a sketch. But you said it looked like a young guy, so maybe it's that last one.
Well, he looks all right. So of the two choices, he looks more like this 40-year-old than he does fat face, small nose guy. Right?
Yeah,
Oh
I don't know. I actually think that it is sort of more like the older guy, but maybe he has a younger looking face.
Right.
I think that I don't know.
Wow.
Okay, so that's that's a clear, for you. See, one of these is probably one of the clearest ones that you
See right there, yeah, he almost looks like an old homeless guy. He just reminds like somebody who was drunk last night. His cheeks are red. He wakes up. He's gonna kill some people today. What in the hell?
I have a folder
kind of
with
hat
all
is
of the
that?
stills.
That's gotta be a hoodie.
Yeah, it's a hoodie coming over. Actually, I think if you look back at go back to this one. I can actually pause it now on here. So, well, that's a shitty place, but like maybe right here. See, right here, there's this brown part. A lot of people think it's a fanny pack, but I think it's part of the brown hoodie that's just going below the jacket. And because the reason I think that is because at one point it actually flattens on his leg, like almost right.
But I feel like his
Right
hoodie is
there.
gray.
See right there. See how it's
Yeah.
flat, and then there's some object right there. I don't know what that is, but
Well, you can see it on both sides, actually. Well, or is that? What is on our right side? You can almost see something.
Well, it's just shadows in there. So that's a shadow, and then there's just maybe like a tail of whatever this is on his head.
This is
going down
infuriating.
below. But here's the thing, though. It doesn't really matter anymore.
No.
Like the videos are always what
His
people get
clothes are
interested in.
burnt.
What people get interested in. But now all we really need is somebody to identify who this person is and the voice, and then maybe that'll lead to the killer.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning it was kind of, it was interesting to be able to figure this stuff out. But
Yeah, for people who've never seen it, it's really like, wait, what?
yeah.
What's going on here?
So that's one of the clear shots right there. That's one of the ones they released.
That almost looks like my boss, who's 74.
And then he looks like Tom Cruise in the last shot, right?
My
See, that's what's
God.
frustrating about it. So they just want you to look at the overall walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was. I think he was disguising himself. Obviously, he's got all this shit on, these layers.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not how he dresses on a typical day.
It's hard to say because I saw a video, and there's a lot of people that say that, but it was 42 degrees, and then there's other videos right around the same time. Well, I saw a video where there was 20 guys in it, and every one of them was wearing a blue jacket, blue jeans, brown shoes, and a hat. It was like, oh my God. It's almost like everybody in Delphi dresses like that. The girls were underdressed. He was dressed appropriately for a 42 degree, and it was windy. And the wind blew towards the crime scene. So that means that the girls were screaming and there was somebody on the bridge, you wouldn't hear it because the wind was blowing away. However, if you were the killer and you were at the crime scene and you heard anybody talking on the bridge, you could hear it easily because it would just the wind direction and it would just shoot right over to you. And so that's another thing that's interesting about what was going on, because believe it or not, at 3 o'clock, another person came here. So this is 2:20 down the hill. 3 o'clock, another person came, and they went all the way across the bridge here, took a photograph off of platform 5 back that way. Then they left, and at 3:47 they uploaded their images to Snapchat. I mean, it was just, it was crazy, right? But she was over here, like maybe at like 3:15 or something on the other end of the bridge, and the killer apparently was still over here at the crime scene, because what we learned out later is the killer was there for 20 minutes of the time that Derek was there. When when he got there, so Derek gets here. Remember when he got there at 3:15 right here, and he started walking, looking for them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the killer was there for 20 of those minutes. So 3:35, the killer was still around. And what's weird is what I think we just kind of determined on my show recently was that when Derek went down here to look for the girls down the 505, it's possible that the killer actually came back and got back on the trail to get back to his car over here, or he walked down like this, but they may have overlapped had Derek not gone down this way. Let's say he'd went this way and then back here, because the killer left the crime scene and probably didn't go back over this way. I mean, it seems kind of obvious that there's no sightings of him, and Cheyenne would have seen him. That's the girl that was on the bridge. So he probably went up this way, and he could have walked around and then cut across, got back on the trail, or he walked down this road. If I was somebody, I'd want to walk on the main road, because when a car's driving by, they're not going to get any details on you. If you're walking on a trail, it's slow, and people could say, oh yeah, I saw that guy. So maybe walk like this, cut across, and then...
No matter where you look, it all comes back to Gray Hughes videos. Like, I'm trying to find the most enhanced videos. I'm on abbyandlibby.org, it's Gray Hughes. I'm on Reddit, it's Gray Hughes. I'm like, okay, well, I'm already working with Gray Hughes, so I'm not watching any more of this stuff.
Yeah. Well,
like, everybody has your stuff up.
Yeah, a lot of people just take it and use it on their channels too, I know.
It's on the abbyandlibby.org website as well, and it's all over Reddit, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So
I'm looking for the most enhanced, like, what did anybody do? Did somebody come up with a great trick? No, they didn't.
Yeah, I don't, it could be that he's, a young person, but we don't know. So let's see. What else is out there? Yeah, okay, so the information that this one source told me was that that they can see a bicycle ride by, and we actually, Cairo, one of my buddies, went out there, and there's a surveillance camera on this building, and there's actually one right here on this building that's actually would cover the arc of where that car was parked. But when I talked to somebody in law enforcement, they said, no, we don't have, but I don't know. I don't know if they ever tell you the reality.
The whole truth, sure.
So there's a camera here, and apparently a bike rode by, but it came back in the amount of time, a correct amount of time, so they didn't think that was related. But then that means that, wow, they do have a camera. So you wonder if that same camera picked up the killer, but it's not clearer than the one that we've already watched, so they haven't shared that. And so, like, maybe he walked by this direction. That's why they're really focused in on this car here. He also said that they did get DNA off of the, like, it was the shoulder, touch DNA off the shoulder of probably the clothing that Abby had.
Oh, good. I was going to ask you about DNA.
But it was just touch DNA, and it didn't have a lot of markers on it. So they're kind of frustrated with that, and they were kind of shocked at how little information was left there. Like, there was no semen or anything like that. So it's just really bizarre situation. So you got that, and what else? Oh yeah. So then we get to the more recent revelations.
Well, should we save the more recent for the next time we meet up?
I guess we could do that. I guess we
2 hours.
Oh, I didn't even know. Yeah. Yeah, we could do that.
You get lost in this one here, I see.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah, so you got, you have the audio, the video, you know exactly where they were found. So just in short, They were at Libby's house. They got a ride. They were dropped off right here. They got dropped off at 1:37, took a photograph at 2:07, so there was a 20-minute or something that's missing in there. Then on this side of the bridge, we don't know the time of the video, but I'm going to guess if it was 2:07 right here, if you walk quickly across the bridge, it takes 4 minutes. Okay? So let's just say that they were slow again, so if it's 2:07, and I'm just going to say 2:20, 2:25, maybe, at the latest. And then that's when he caught up with them over here. I actually think the bridge wasn't part of any attack. I think if the girls had went down this way, he would have followed them, because miraculously, when the girls were there wasn't a soul in front of them. There was nobody out here at all, and the killer knew that, because there was people there before, and then there was people after, and there was this little window. And it's so weird that if it is a catfishing event, what are the odds that when his victims got there, that there was nobody there? It almost felt like, in some ways, it feels like an opportunity that this person came across, but at the same time, he could have just got lucky with that aspect of it. But I think he would have followed them down this trail and killed them down here had they not gone this direction. So anyways, you've got that. They were found the next day at noon, and then the investigation began, and we went through the press conferences, and hopefully you guys got to see everything.
I think I'm missing. I'm no longer on here with you.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, I was just realized I was playing I was trying to find the actual slide. There it is.
And everybody's like, no, just keep going. You guys are in the flow. The only problem is my daughter left. If she had stayed, teenagers do things, and then your whole day's screwed up. She's supposed to be here with my son, but she went to get her hair trimmed.
Yeah.
So now he's been 2 hours out there by himself, poor kid.
Okay, so we'll do.
He's amusing himself right now, but
Yeah, we can do another one. We can do another one with the new catfishing stuff that's going on.
What about Sunday? Is Sunday good for you?
Yeah, I could do Sunday.
Because Christmas Eve's it's Friday, Saturday, so Sunday is good for me if it's good for you.
Yeah, it should be.
Just let me know what time. You can decide.
But now you're going to be looking at those images. Go to the Indiana State website and download. Psychotic. You can download their video, and I exported each frame so that I could animate them and keep the bridge still. And that way you can see how he kind of moves. Right, the way they released it, it just kind of it's all jumbled in the middle.
Okay.
Let's see.
I definitely will.
But hey, you guys, you should join the channel if you haven't joined yet. Okay.
Yes.
Because eventually we'll get into a groove here and be doing more some members only stuff.
That's what we're trying to do. Get it together.
Yeah.
Holidays are about to be over. All the things. So.
Yeah. So let me get the.
Hopefully everybody stays healthy.
Let me see where
Let's hope.
Thank everybody here. So hold on. So, thank you to Christine Falk, Tracy Seamer, Paisley Dreams, Shelly Ann, Emily Flotilla, Amy CHS, Brandy Bradford, Woman of Steel, Katja T, Georgina Stoliker, and then Sarah M right at the end there. So thank you guys. And but I'm going to call you up here in a few minutes, all right?
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
Literally right up. But anyways, all right, you guys. Appreciate you guys all showing up here. Consider becoming a channel member. We're actually talking about figuring out a way, how much, like a percentage to donate to charities ourselves off of the revenue from the channel.
Yes.
So we're working on that right now. So it's always good to be able to help out all the time, every month, over and over and over again. All right. So thank you guys for being here. And do you have anything you want to say?
I love you so much.
Oh, thanks. Oh, you're talking about them. Okay.
Not you.
Oh, jeez. You're so... Look at... You're so mean. You're so mean to Gray. Can you believe it?
Allegedly.
All right. Anyway, see you guys later. We'll come back on Sunday and get to
we will
the
be
end,
back
and
Sunday.
everybody can start from the beginning again and go over all the craziness. Watch all my debunking videos. They're hilarious. Some of them.
Oh boy, I bet there's a lot of crazy stuff out there.
Oh, there really is. All right, everybody. Thank you guys very much.
Thanks for coming
see
over,
you guys
guys.
later.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
If we don't see you before then.
Or Happy Holidays. I don't want to be insensitive if you don't celebrate.
I do. It's called Christmas.
Yeah, it's called Christmas. I know. I'm
not doing that over here.
I'm being sarcastic. All right, here we go.
Yes, I will.
And watch, she'll be talking while the ending's going. You know how it goes. Here we go.
I won't.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Anyway, so the...
You talk first.
I knew it.
It's your fault. I hate that video so much, though.
I think it's awesome.
No.
Oh, the video, yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, it does. It goes so blurry. That's
Rude.
the problem. Bye-bye, everybody.
See ya.